Finally, Batwoman got canceled. From The Hollywood Reporter, quote, Batwoman's time in Gotham has come to an end. The CW has canceled the DC Comics drama after 3 seasons. Showrunner Carolyn Dries shared the news on social media Friday. Just got the sad news that Batwoman will not be seeing season 4, Dries wrote on Twitter. I am bummed, but full of gratitude. What an honor to make 51 episodes. That's not exactly the H word I would use, but okay. It's been a long time coming, and honestly, it should have happened after the first season. Batwoman has had the lowest ratings of any of the CW Arrowverse shows, and one of the largest drop-offs within a season. It started off with 1.86 million viewers, but by the end of the first season, it dropped down to 740,000 viewers. That's a 60% drop, and as you can see from this graph, the bleeding started around episode 5, and the series never recovered. It began season 2 with just 666,000 viewers, and ended with 410,000 viewers, and the third season has bounced between 400,000 to 600,000 viewers per episode. The series has basically failed from the start, and losing Ruby Rose at the end of season 1, she was fired, seemed to have cost the series a good chunk of whatever fan base it had grown. Losing 78% of your audience since the beginning of the series is a hell of a hit, and you'd think the CW would notice this considering that none of the other series failed this hard, but instead of canceling the show, they kept it running, and I suspect that's mostly due to identity politics. The show was advertised around both the character and the actress Ruby Rose being strong, clam-slamming women. I mean, it was in the trailer. So if they canned the show, as would normally be done when you lose most of your audience, it'd be seen as a loss for representation and diversity. Never mind that the show's overall look was just okay, or that the acting was tepid at best, or that the writing was so bad it makes Twilight look like the Lord of the Rings. Instead of canceling the show when they fired Ruby Rose, they just recast Batwoman. Not Kate Kane, Batwoman. They went out of their way to hire another actual lesbian for the role, and this time she was black. And she played a whole new character, meaning all those plot lines they built around Kate Kane in season 1 just got tossed out, cause fuck storytelling, am I right? Now you know why they lost the little audience they had. However, Batwoman wasn't the only show that got canned. Legends of Tomorrow also got cancelled. It had a similar ratings drop, though nowhere near as severe, although it is worth paying attention to how the drop played out over the show's 7 seasons. You can see on this graph that Legends of Tomorrow started off with 3.16 million viewer average in 2016, but by 2021, it was down to 820,000. The biggest dip happened around 2018, which is also when streaming services began to gain greater popularity. This other graph really emphasizes that change, and it's worth pointing out that this has happened to many other shows that air on local or cable TV. It seems like the streaming services are nuking the ratings for TV shows in the same way that they've nuked album sales in the music industry. People are less likely to tune in for a weekly show, and instead wait to binge watch it, and the binge watching seems to have its own bubble as well, usually just a couple of weeks when all the episodes become available. We saw something similar happen with the Squid Game, where it was crazy popular for 2 or 3 weeks, and then people just stopped talking about it. It's not that they didn't like it, or that people weren't still watching it. It seems that it just ran its course very quickly. That can be fine for something like the Squid Game, since it could easily be a one-off series, although I think a sequel is coming. But for an ongoing show, that's crippling because they won't be able to build an audience unless they can get people really excited. And I'm pretty sure Batwoman isn't exactly bringing it out of people. The article goes on to mention that the CW network might get sold. Quote, it also comes as the CW owners, Warner Bros. Discovery and Paramount Global, are exploring a sale of the broadcaster, with local TV station giant Nexstar considered a possible buyer. That has led to speculation that the network could pare back its slate of scripted series. Sounds like Nexstar might cancel some of the existing CW shows, but as it relates to the Arrowverse shows, there are not that many of them left. Only The Flash and Superman and Lois are still going, and it looks like The Flash might end with season 9. There's also Stargirl and Naomi as the other DC-related shows, both of which unfortunately have ratings close to Batwoman's. I would imagine that if Nexstar acquired the CW, their reason for cutting any shows would be to save money, and I think Superman and Lois might be the biggest budgeted show at the moment. It's also the best of the group, so it could get canned to save money or stay because of its quality, resulting in the others getting cancelled. Either way, at least Dorius and Az no longer have to suffer. They were probably the only regular viewers of the show. I doubt anyone who even worked on the show has seen all 51 episodes. Now, if you're tempted to watch it, don't. I got through one commercial break and then I was done. Watch one of the review videos to get a taste of how bad the show is. Maybe watch a trailer. Maybe light a scented candle, let the wax melt, and then blow it out and pour it on your arm. All of those are more entertaining than watching this show. But what do I know? I'm just some guy.